All right. Well, I want to welcome you all to the 2025 MPMA annual meeting. For those of you who've been around for a while, you may remember that we used to do the annual meeting as a part of our annual in-person event in October, November, and that usually made for a more drawn-out evening and people getting up and talking and giving updates and all that. So a few years ago, COVID kind of forced us to make the shift, and then we stuck with it to having more of a in-person fun celebratory event, which became the Celebration of Manufacturing, and then our uh, virtual annual meeting just to give everyone a chance to get updates and but not have to sit in a room and listen to it all live and in person. So appreciate you joining us today, and we'll be kind of in presentation mode. Feel free to put questions in the chat, and then we'll have some time for questions at the end as well. So thank you again for joining us, and have some exciting updates to share with you about 2025 as well as 2026. So we'll jump right in. So just a reminder, our mission for MPMA is driving success in Minnesota precision manufacturing by strengthening the skilled workforce. So as you probably already know, a lot of our focus is on workforce development. So we'll share a lot of those updates today and a lot of the other activities that help support those workforce efforts. Hopefully you've known by now, but this year we celebrated our 70th anniversary with MPMA. So 1955 was our founding, and as you'll see in a few minutes, we got to celebrate some founding members that are still around. So exciting milestone as we work with state leadership or other organizations to have that longevity really speaks to not only our success over the years, but also the reputation and just our strength as an association. You probably have already dealt with a lot of the people that are on the screen right now, but this is our MPMA team that I'm excited to work with. I've been telling our board over and over again this year that we've got an awesome team. We've always had great people we worked with, but not always the right structure and not always the right timing with everything. And so I'm just feel really blessed to have this group to work with day in and day out, and they're all dedicated to the MPMA purpose. And what I wanted all along is people who believed in what MPMA was doing and believed that they were a part of that purpose, right? Not just that, hey, I'm here to do what MPMA wants me to do, but I'm here to be a part of that success, and that's really what we've got. So, for those of you who have not met all of these people, again, all of them are on the line right now, but Brenda Hawley is our marketing and communications manager. Marika Schneider is our director of workforce development. Christine Sukup is our membership and advertising coordinator. Cindy Dr. White is our events coordinator, and Stephanie Cadlick is our administrative assistant. So again, just an awesome group of people that I'm honored to work with every day. So when you get a chance, please engage with them. You've probably already connected with them on whether it's events or advertising or the magazine or anything else in workforce, of course, but feel free to reach out for things you need. So here's the agenda for today. I'm not going to read through this because I'm just going to dive in and go into these topics, but we're covering kind of what's happened in 2025, different operational activities, workforce activities, and then of course some plans for 2026. So starting off with member engagement, primarily talking about events. One cool thing that actually was technically 2024, but it was at the tail end after our annual meeting. So I'll feature that now, and actually the next one's coming up in just a couple of days. But we had Minnesota Manufactured Night at the Minnesota Wild. That was last December, and we had a great turnout. We had 400 manufacturers in attendance, anywhere from shop employees to ownership to support organizations of manufacturing to students and teachers to a couple NASA engineers, right, Luke? I think Luke's down here. Really cool event. We had thousands of people that were engaged through just us being there, the marketing, us being on the Jumbotron, us being out on the Zamboni on the ice. Lots of cool activities and just a fun evening. And I don't have that picture on the screen right now. You see Nordy with Brenda, but Nordy actually read our MPMA journal. We got to take some pictures of that, and so just a fun evening to engage and get some marketing and awareness about careers in manufacturing. So, and I'll remind you in a little while, but the next one is coming up this Thursday, the 11th, Minnesota Manufacturing Night, the Minnesota Wild again. So I'll remind you in just a bit here. Of course, our Golden Gloves event, our 48th annual, so we're getting close up to 50. Our title sponsor this year was Sunbelt True North, and we had another great event at the Medina Entertainment Center. Lots of great boxing, and just a really fun event as always. Our golf outing in July, we had. I keep saying this every year, and I never get tired of saying it, but we had record attendance yet again this year. Record funds raised. Special thanks to our title sponsor, LubeTech. But every year we just have to keep getting more creative on how to accommodate more people, more sponsors, more partners. Just a really great day and a great event to help promote MPMA's purpose in our activities. So thanks to all those who are out there. Our Shoot for Scholarships, another record-breaking event. So record attendance this year. We had about 110, I think, 111 people at Minnesota Horse and Hunt Club, which does a fantastic job um, hosting our event. Raised $26,000 for scholarships this year. And again, a special thanks to our title sponsor, Sunbelt True North. So Shoot for Scholarships is one of the main fundraising activities for our education foundation. So just a really fun event. Our Toolbox Talks, if you guys haven't been to any of those, we have monthly type webinars, seminars, some in person, some virtual, but more smaller, intimate educational programs. So just a few to list this year. We had Data Analytics with Factory Twin, hosted at Columbia Precision. Manufacturing 101 with me, hosted by American Brightworks. Ask a Cam Pro with Midwest Cam, hosted by Precise Products. And dozens of partnering industry events too. So we do a lot with just promoting, cross-promoting, partnering with different member tours and open houses and things like that. So lots of kind of small things that come in, month to month, and lots of great ways to get involved. So, and if you, I would encourage you to, if you ever are interested in presenting a topic or a manufacturing company hosting a program, please reach out. We love having events at manufacturers so we can showcase them and do a cool tour. So on to the workforce development front. Again, that's kind of our strategic focus. So lots of cool things going on. This momentum's been building over the last few years, and what we've been able to achieve in 2025 and what that's setting us up for 2026 has been very exciting and just amazing at what we've been able to accomplish so far. So I'm going to go through, from a few different angles of the workforce front, give you updates on a few things. So some decent amount of details here, but just if you have any questions, feel free to reach out because there's lots of stuff going on this front, and a lot of times people kind of miss on some of the opportunities because there's so much going on. So our manufacturing pathways portal phase 2 is launched. So I'll take a step back. If you recall, we were awarded the Drive for 5 training grant through the state of Minnesota coming up on 2 years ago. And that really was focused on workforce development across 5 industry sectors, including manufacturing. And so we've been able to get state funds that allowed us to put more staff resources, more time, more programs, investing in a lot of the activities, the equipment towards our workforce front. So our manufacturing pathways was one of those results that we were able to, with our partner BusyWeb, create a online portal that's through our ERP system that allows us to connect with people, provide information, connect with them on a number of fronts and communicate with them better. So we started that in 2024, made a lot of headway on 2025, and it's been active for the past actually almost 14, 15 months technically. But now we're doing a lot more, which we'll touch on that here, with a lot more activity and engaging people. So we've got about over 300 individuals in the portal currently. About 80% of those are job seekers, about 10% are employers, and about 10% are other people, educators, students that we connect with. And then coming out of the portal is really the focus on how do we engage with those people. So rather than just giving them information or getting them on a list, our goal is to really engage them and help them and provide them with next steps. So a lot of it comes down, again, job seekers with employment, but also finding them different educational resources and scholarships or go take tours and things like that. So that's what a lot of our time is focused on, is engaging with those 300 plus people and helping them with next steps. So it's really cool to be able to take it to the next level rather than just handing someone a flyer at a career fair and hope that they reach out at some point. Minnesota State Fair. So thank you to everyone who joined us. I know a lot of you on this call were at the State Fair with us on August 30th this year, but we officially had Minnesota Manufactured Day at the Minnesota State Fair. So just rough numbers based on the traffic that day, it statistically is the busiest day of the fair, which there were 200 and some thousand people there. We roughly estimated that about 125,000 people were exposed to Minnesota manufactured branding. So we had an outdoor tent there on a main thoroughfare. So, lots of people walking by all day long. We were on the literature for the fair that day on their social media. And then of course we gave away these cool cowboy hats that made their way all around the fair. So if you stood there for the daily parade going through the fairgrounds, there were people lined up along the sidelines of the fair, the parade route, wearing our Minnesota manufactured hats. So really cool day. We had about 100 volunteers, so that was awesome. We were going from well, technically from about noon on Friday till about 11 p.m. on Saturday, nonstop. We had people there that entire time, helping set up everything, set up the tent, and then working the booth, engaging with people, making dog tags, making cowboy hats, just all kinds of stuff. So really fun day. We had stations set up with the dog tag engraving where people could get their name on it. 3D printing, thanks to Stratasys. We had an actual 3D printer there. We got to build medical devices and do virtual reality goggles and play games and read books and all kinds of stuff. So fun for all ages and just a great day. So really exciting. I guess that was it on that. The month of manufacturing. So we didn't list everything that we did throughout the year as far as workforce development, all the different career fairs and student, engagement and job fairs and stuff like that. But just specifically in the month of manufacturing, October, which is kind of a focal point for the state and trying to engage, especially young people. But we kind of had more of a concentrated effort this year. And again, this isn't everything that went on, but we had the People of Color Career Fair at the Convention Center, West Metro Career Fair at Hennepin Tech, Make Publishing book readings at elementary schools. So if you didn't know, creative planning donated a bunch of books through Make Publishing, where manufacturers, and there's still some available. So you can go get a free book that's for kids learning about careers in manufacturing, and then go read it to school, donate it to school. So just a great way to engage young kids. The Cool Jobs Tour involving Elk River, Zimmerman, and Rogers High Schools, where I got to go speak on a panel there with a couple of MPMA members. And then dozens of manufacturing and educator tours. So we had manufacturing tours all around really the state. And some that we coordinated, some that we helped just make a connection for, some that we provided bus funding for. So just lots of activities during the month of manufacturing. The dual training grant. So this is something I want to make sure to drive home, because whether you're on this call right now or you're listening to a recording this later, many times throughout the year, we have people reach out and say, hey, I'd love to be a part of the dual training grant. And we say, thanks, but you needed to have done that back in January, February, when we said there was a deadline and we needed to get your name on the grant. So I'm just going to reiterate that now, because twice in the last 2 weeks, I visited manufacturers where I said, hey, we coordinate, manage, apply for the dual training grant on your behalf. We do all the work for you. And some HR folks that their jaws just drop and they almost start crying. It's like, you could have done that for us and I didn't have to do that. So a lot of times people are just not aware that we provide that. So the dual training grant is, you might remember, called Pipeline, but it is a part of the both the Office of Higher Ed that oversees it, and then the Department of Labor that kind of manages some of the day-to-day. But they provide basically up to $6,000 a year for secondary or career training. So whether it's a warehouse worker that wants to become a machinist, or a assembly worker that wants to be a quality inspector, or somebody who wants to go get their management degree. There's lots of opportunities for people to take their current career to another level and get the education and support along with that. And that also includes on-the-job training and apprenticeship with the manufacturer. So with that, MPMA, this is our third or fourth round that we've been a part of. I think fourth round. We had some MJSP grants before that, so we've been doing grants such as these for about 6 years now. But MPMA was awarded a dual training grant this past year for $150,000, which we don't get a penny of that. That all just goes right to college training or post-secondary training. So that was basically this fall through next spring. We just finished up from the 2024-2025 school year as well. But we had 14 employers involved with more than 25 students enrolled in the training programs at Hennepin Tech and Oka Tech, St. Paul College. So again, we're there to provide support. We write the grant, we manage it. We work with the employers, the students, the schools to make sure it's all coordinated. Sometimes we'll help work with the school to shift the course schedule so that it meets the needs of many manufacturers. So we kind of advocate for all parties involved and make sure that they're working together and really provide some great resources. So again, if you're not familiar with that, I encourage you to look into that, reach out, ask questions about it. Watching, you'll hear stuff from Marika on our team, but just some great opportunities to further careers of your employees. And it's a great recruiting tool too. I know a lot of companies use this as a way to draw in new apprentices because it's a way to ensure that you're investing in them for multiple years. I'm not going to go through all these things, but just I kind of wanted to leave a lot of it on the screen here so you kind of get a sense for all the things that we're doing. Again, supporting people that are, again, either employers or students going through some of these training programs. But we're basically helping navigate their career path. We're helping them, work with our portal. We're helping them find different education and training resources, finding ways to engage with schools, finding of jobs, of course, and then continued support and resources. So just a ton of stuff that we're doing, again, behind the scenes. You don't see day to day, but Marika and her team are working on providing that support for individuals, very customized, very individualized support because every person is different. Their needs are different. So just really cool stuff. A lot of work on their part to support all those people. And that was more on the individual front. On the employer front, kind of the same thing as far as helping companies learn more about the different tools and resources out there, help them connect to schools, find the different training and grant programs. We've been working with the YMCA for the last couple of years on a program called Cultures of Belonging. So just helping people understand the diversity in the workforce and then understanding how to recruit them, train them, engage with them, make them feel more welcome. And then again, just trying to help companies get better at everything they do and better at apprenticeship and workforce development. So worked with about 40 employees over the last year and a number of different fronts, whether it's the dual training grant or the Drive for Five funds, training programs, just all kinds of great stuff. So moving on, just a quick update on our Education Foundation, which if you didn't know is technically a separate entity from MPMA, but of course we have a lot of overlap and a lot of engagement back and forth. But this year we did have, again, record attendance at Shoot for Scholarships, which is a big help to our fundraising. We awarded 15 $2,000 scholarships, which we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years now, which is a pretty significant increase from previous years. We also gave financial support to some career fairs, tours of manufacturing, busing, so different things that we find creative ways to engage and get more people support. And I want to give a special thanks and shout out to our major donors for the past few years now, but the Waffen-Smith Family Omni Tool Fund. So Walter Waffen-Smith of Omni Tool has been supporting the Education Foundation for the last few years as a part of his legacy giving. Sunbelt Business Advisors has been a part of our, or been a major donor for the last few years as well, which is again going right to our scholarships. And then Marianne Thielen, which unfortunately we lost Marianne this year. Her family owns NTM, a great company, and Marianne was just a wonderful person and just an awesome leader of our industry. And unfortunately, we lost her this year, but her family is going to continue on the support to the Education Foundation, which is really special to us to have that support and support of the family. So, some legislative updates, lots of activity, and I'll kind of share as I look into 2026 too about how this is kind of built up. But it's the momentum and the legislative front is built over years, and again I mentioned over a 70-year history. That reputation and the awareness and the relationships just kind of continue to build. So that's a big part of what we're doing legislatively, is not just, going to the Capitol and screaming at legislators, which we would love to do sometimes, but it's really building those relationships over time and then being able to be the voice of manufacturing so that they're listening. So this year we got to some pretty cool things. Marika and myself went to DC to visit with our Minnesota delegation. So we met with all of our state or our U.S. representatives and senators from Minnesota. So we had some great discussions, some challenging discussions, I'll say too. But it was great just to actually connect with them, share our voice. We shared some concerns, some needs, so that hopefully they listen and are aware as they're making decisions. We had Minnesota Manufacturing Day at the state capitol, so that was partnered with the Minnesota Chamber. Again, a great day engaging with state leadership and sharing thoughts back and forth. Brenda Hawley had an awesome opportunity this year to represent MPMA and Minnesota on the SME, the Society of Manufacturing Engineers, at their conference, and has been on their board and representing us at different meetings, sharing insights as to what MPMA and Minnesota is doing, learning from other states. And that's actually led to some pretty cool things already that we've done a couple things that we learned from what other states are doing, and they're taking some of the notes from what we're doing. So just a really great opportunity to share back and forth nationally, um, um, some um, great ideas and solutions. And then I'm still on the Governor's Workforce Development Board, which has been I think 4 or 5 years now, and I chair the manufacturing committee as well. So that's run by Deed, but it has kind of representation from all across state agencies and the workforce development front and education and of course industry. So just a great opportunity to connect with kind of all the leaders in workforce development in Minnesota. And I'll say we're still making improvements to try and get the Governor's Workforce Board to be a little bit more effective. It's still not as strong or as impactful as it needs to be. So we're kind of working on that from the inside out. But I'll say that even though I like to focus on manufacturing, of course, this Workforce Board is all industries, but we were able to put in a board chair that is from manufacturing this past year. So it's been great to have a little bit more focus on manufacturing. Continued on the legislative front, we are working on a few legislative policies, mostly around education and business, and trying to again work with state agencies and the legislators to improve some of the hurdles and bureaucratic tape in some cases kind of hold us back from moving forward, both on the education front and the business front. So some headway, I'll say. A lot of times it's baby steps, and of course, some of the things that we've advocated for or against in the past few years, unfortunately, in some cases, the legislature is not willing to listen, and that's been frustrating, as many of you know. So we're still working on those relationships and voicing our concerns, voicing your concerns. So we have some successes and some challenges that we still need to address. I do sit on the Deed Diversity and Manufacturing Initiative too, as well, another state agency initiative to just drive more growth in the manufacturing workforce. And then just in general, we have a ton of regular engagement with Deed, Department of Labor, Office of Higher Ed, just on everything education related, apprenticeships, grant programs. We have just great relationships. I mentioned the dual training grant. Department of Labor loves working with us. We are the only organization in the state that does a cohort model for the dual training grant. That saves the state a lot of time and energy and coordination. That saves the manufacturers a lot of time, energy, and coordination. And the state just loves it. It's a great model and so they'll reach out to us and connect with us on a regular basis to learn more and to see if they can encourage other organizations to do the same. But it just, again, all of these things build up into those relationships so that when it comes time to voicing our concerns or opinions, those state agencies and state leaders are more willing to listen, legislators more willing to listen because we have those relationships. I talked about Drive for Five and how we were awarded that grant. And in fact, we were 2 years ago, we were awarded the largest grant in the state. And that's no doubt because of those relationships we've built. So as we go forward and we need more support and resources and partnership, it's important that we keep building those relationships with, again, each of the different groups that we work with. So it's been a great build up of momentum over the last few years. And then I mentioned the Drive for Five grant funding we had for the past couple of years. We did apply for the next round of Drive for Five grant funding. We are expecting to find out any day now. We are very optimistic that we're going to get that funding. So that's going to be huge because that enables us to not only continue what we've been doing, but also build on that, because a lot of what we've done is more investing in certain things that are going to have sustainability. And so then when we get more funding, we don't have to just keep feeding those same things. Those things will continue and we can build on it and do the next the next focus. And I'll talk about that in just a bit. On to communications. This has been a huge shift for us this year. I'm excited what Brenda has done for our team and for MPMA. We've just had this injection of energy and just new way of kind of approaching things. And we're seeing that come to fruition by a higher rate of new members coming out of the woodwork. And some of these manufacturing companies are ones we'd never even heard of. And they come to us saying, hey, I heard what MPMA is doing and I'm excited about getting involved. And former members that are coming back saying, hey, I really want to get re-engaged. And that's because of the stuff we're doing, but also it's because that word is getting out, right? We're sharing that information. So not only is it's kind of equally as important to what we're doing and what we're sharing about what we're doing, because if manufacturers aren't at the table and they're not listening or they're not aware of those opportunities, then we're kind of wasting those opportunities. So few updates on the communications front. I did not approve this first picture to be put in here, but I'll go with it, Brenda. But this is just a few snippets of some of the social media content that's been going up. And again, Brenda's just done a great job of finding ways to more engaging information, more mutually beneficial content, things that we're engaging with our manufacturers, with our associate members, the distributors, machine tool companies, just finding ways to engage and cross-reference things and share information. And so it's driven a lot of growth in our social media front, and as well as emails and whatnot. But so you can see LinkedIn had 3,400 followers coming, and that was a 600 increase of 600 new followers, 103,000 impressions, 200 comments, 153 reposts. Our Facebook is a little, it's not quite as strong because that's just not where some of the manufacturers lie, but we've got 655 followers there, so which was 44 new followers, so with about 23,000 views. So a lot of activity, a lot more momentum, and just a lot more people paying attention. Again, that just kind of feeds that word out there so that more people hear what we're doing and can become a part of it. This just shows the website hit. So again, our website, we're trying to find things that are more engaging, more resources. Once we last year or 2 years ago invested in our new ERP system, HubSpot, that's allowed us to have a lot better ability to interact, and a lot better methods and automations as far as being able to connect with people and have it be a lot more efficient. And so part of that is a website that functions better and has more things, more activities going on. So as you can see, our views, 45,000 website hits is 16% increase over 2024. So just in general numbers, that's approximately 4,000 website hits a month. It used to be 1,000 website hits a month, a number of years ago. So I mean, in the last 5-6 years, we've quadrupled the number of website hits. So what that does then is those who are sponsoring with us, they get more benefit. Those who are posting jobs with us, they get more benefit. Those who are job seeking get more resources out of us, and we get more people connected to find those resources. So just a lot of momentum there. It's exciting to be able to share that information. So on our board of directors this year, so we did have kind of a shift here this fall. So Tony Herbst actually had a career change and is now working kind of outside the manufacturing industry. So we did have a new election this fall. Liz Waters, who was our vice chair, has been elected as our new chair of the MPMA board. So we kind of had a mid-year or midterm election for that. And then we also added 3 new directors at the same time as a couple of directors were retiring off the board. So and I think most of them are on this call today, but we've got Tobias Flood of Metal Trade Solutions, Lyle Peterson of Park Industries, and Kevin Ford of American Brightworks. So that got cut off. But just a fantastic crew of new people. And Liz, if you want to take just a moment, if you wouldn't be willing to just say hello to everyone, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Liz Waters, Director of Operations at Colburn Manufacturing. I am honored to have been nominated and elected for board chair, and really excited to get involved and look forward to everything we have coming in 2026 after a really great 2025 with an awesome team and a great board too. So thank you.
Well, thanks, Liz, and look forward to working with you. Liz has been running Colburn Manufacturing, a family-owned small business here in the Twin Cities, and a fantastic company. And I'm excited to have her on board. She's got a strong connection with the women in manufacturing front, which we all know we need more women in manufacturing. So that's a great step forward for us. And just again, Liz is a great leader with a lot of energy, so we're excited to have her on board. So, and again, thanks to Tobias, Lyle, and Kevin, who are going to be joining us as well. And they already jumped in head first, and they've already been to a board meeting, and so they're full force into 2026. With that, then, this is what our new board of directors executive committee looks like. So with Liz as our chair, Rod Gramsey has been from MRG Tool and Die, has been on the board for many years now, and he actually was a director and just volunteered to step up as the vice chair interim role for now. We'll see in a few months here. Maybe we'll convince Rod to stay in that role, or we'll see if we need to nominate someone else. But he was backfilling for Liz as she moved into the chair role. So appreciate Rod stepping up into that. He's been a great board member for many years now. Mel Anger is in the middle of his term as our secretary treasurer. He's been doing that for quite a few years now, so just an awesome resource of LB Carlson to help us on the financial front. And then Laurent DeConnick is our immediate past chair, so that's one of our executive committee seats. Laurent was our previous chair last year, and excited, appreciative of him sticking around and still being very active on the board. And then this is our board of directors for 2026, so outside of the executive committee. So I'll mention the names here, a few of which are the new members, but Luke Boehm of LubeTech, Luke Becker of Armstrong High School, Jackie Dukowitz of Dock and Door, Nancy Lean Burnt of Modern Manufacturing, Tobias Flood of Metal Trade Solutions, Kevin Ford of American Brightworks, Bruce Hansen of Andrew Tool, B. Kyle of St. Paul Area Chamber, who's the former board president, as well as Bruce Hansen is as well. John Manson, retired now, former board president. Brian Mayo of APT CNC, and of course Lyle Peterson of Park Industries, Jesse Slitsky of Imagineering Machine, a former board president, and then Gabriel Warren of Century College. So if you get a chance, if you come across these individuals, please thank them for their dedication and commitment to MPMA. They've all been doing a great job and are just awesome resources for me and our team, and of course for representing the industry. So we appreciate all that they do. I want to give a special thank you. Then I mentioned Tony had moved on to another non-industry position, so we are very much missing Tony. Just a great leader, and really excited to be working with him. And unfortunately, that didn't last too long. But Tony was doing a great job for us, and would have continued to do a great job for us. So we're sorry to lose him, but as I said, I'm excited about Liz and excited what she brings to the table. So and then Allison Lines of Hennepin Technical College had termed out of her board seat as well. So if you get a chance to send a thanks to either of these individuals, we really appreciate everything they did for the board, and wish them well in their next ventures. So the celebration of manufacturing, if you didn't get a chance to join us on our boat cruise almost 2 months ago now, we had a great time down in Stillwater on the river boats, and had a great group of people and got to celebrate some really cool things. So I mentioned that we had our 70th anniversary this year, so it's pretty cool that we get to celebrate companies that have been with us for many, many years. I feel guilty every year that we only start giving out awards at 30 years of membership, which sounds crazy to think that you have to be at an organization 30 years before you get recognized, but we have so many companies that have been with us for 30, 40, 50 plus years that it's a lot of awards to give out just at that level. So this year we celebrated companies starting at 30 years who had Precision Repair and Calibration, at 35 years, Federated Insurance, at 40 years, Superior Aerospace, at 45 years, Dynamic Group and OmniTool, at 60 years, United Standards Lab, at 65 years, Barry and Seawall Industrial Supply and Precise Products, and at 70 years, we had Branch Manufacturing and one of our founding members, Kurt Manufacturing. So really cool and really exciting to be celebrating companies that have been with us for 70 years straight. That's just crazy. So really cool to have that much history. And if you guys saw a couple articles that were in our magazine this year, we highlighted a bunch of companies that have been with us for most of those years, and companies that have been around for 50, 70, 100 plus years, and just kind of taking a glimpse at the industry history here in Minnesota. So it's really cool to have that history with us, and have so many companies that have been with us for so many years. And yeah, just a great thing to celebrate. Also at the Celebration of Manufacturing, we celebrate a couple different awards that we give out to individuals and people that are a big supporter of not just MPMA, but our cause and what we're doing, and on the workforce front, and partner with us on a number of activities. So our Board Chair Appreciation Award, which goes to an individual who steps up, usually a volunteer who helps out with whether it's MPMA events or workforce efforts, or just industry, driving the industry forward. So this year the Board Chair Appreciation Award went to Devin Russell of Concept. Devin does a ton for our industry, for engaging with high schools, and he'll go in and mentor kids. He's worked with us. He's on our workforce development committee. He helped me develop or get write our program for our 3D or for our tabletop mill that we used at a lot of different events, machining dog tags. So he's just been a great resource, put in a ton of time for supporting the industry and education. And then our next award we call the Partner of the Year, and that's more of a partnering entity, an organization, a nonprofit, a company that supports MPMA and the cause. And this year that award went to Make Publishing, which is two individuals, Amanda and Joe, that work at Design Ready Controls. They just decided to go off and start their own nonprofit organization to promote the industry and promote education. And so they've written a couple of kids' books about careers in manufacturing. They produce all kinds of STEM activities and a newsletter that goes out. So they've done a lot with us at some of our education events, the state fair, and that I mentioned earlier, the book readings that we've been doing at elementary schools. So just a ton of stuff that they do out of just the goodness of their heart and just to support the industry and the love of STEM and tech ed and getting kids into the trades. So really cool to celebrate those groups. And then the last award that we gave out at the Celebration of Manufacturing was the Manufacturer of the Year Award, which went to Klesk Metal Stamping. So again, just a great company. Klesk is in Northeast Minneapolis. They have a ton of history and just a great family-oriented business with a great culture and doing some pretty amazing things manufacturing-wise. So fun to be able to celebrate them. All right, moving on. We got the last segment of our agenda here, and then we'll be wrapping up. And of course, you guys can ask questions or reach out with anything you'd like to learn more about. Moving into 2026. So, yeah, this next slide kind of I used the same slide from last year, so you'll kind of see some of the same progression if you were on this meeting last year. But in the first few years that I was in this role, we were really focused on building relationships. Again, kind of getting our name out there and engaging with legislators and state agencies and building some of those efforts, starting some of the workforce programs in 2022, 23. We were, building our first dual training grants and building that reputation and a lot of those, more hands-on relationships with the state agencies and training programs. So that by 2024, we actually were awarded the Drive for Five grant and allow us to start investing more and, really started driving a lot of those efforts forward. And then I mentioned this meeting last year, I mentioned, well, at 2025, this is going to be all about results, which hopefully you saw in this presentation that we had lots of new activity, lots of new things, lots of, engagements and helping students and helping companies. So we really did see a lot of results in 2025. I mentioned, a higher rate of new members coming into MPMA. So just a lot of cool things that came to fruition in 2025 because of those things we've been building over the previous years. So it's been proof that what we're doing and what we've been striving to do is working and it's having an impact. I will say that I've always said, well, results is about butts and seats is what I say. Butts and seats at the school, butts and seats at a manufacturing company. So we can celebrate all we want that we've had engagements and we've, talked to people and we've, made people more aware. That is important. Those are part of the results. But as manufacturers, we like to quantify things, right? We like to see tangible results and see, products get shipped and things built. And so what I'm excited about then is 2026 is we're looking at the next level of results. So job placements is a big part of it. How do we help those people that we're engaging with now find those jobs? How do we help them take that next step? We're working with a few partners right now on a statewide apprenticeship and mentorship models. So again, we have a lot of resources, a lot of programs in Minnesota, but not a lot of it is coordinated statewide. Not a lot of it has kind of standards. I mean, the Minnesota programs have stipulations on how things are supposed to be done, but they're not really industry standards. They're not really industry driven. So we're really going to focus on how do we drive those standards from the industry into those apprenticeship and mentorship programs and not standardizing by the state, but standardizing by industry and then help share those resources and those solutions with manufacturers statewide. So lots of exciting stuff around that front. I'm not going to go into too much more detail yet because we're waiting to find out if we got those grant dollars, and that'll help us invest heavily in those areas. Again, not just sustaining what we've already been doing, but investing in the next steps. A couple of things more administratively is that we're going to be working on a lot more SOPs for MPMA. I mentioned we rolled out HubSpot, a lot of this new workforce development efforts, a lot of new community efforts, communications efforts, just so many new things, but things that we've been building out, what we've been doing. And so we have to go back and say, well, here's how we do that as MPMA. How do we do it the best way? How do we make sure that we're growing? And, you guys probably all implement continuous improvement programs. And that's what we have to do as an association too, is figure out, okay, as we learn ways to do things better, how do we document that, standardize it, and make sure we're all doing that. So that's just kind of an exciting development for our staff to get that much stronger and more professional. And along those lines, this is a small thing, but a new phone system, which I just mentioned that more as just a small thing that it's about an investment. So in years past, we've had to pinch pennies to be able to write grants or to develop new programs or to launch new initiatives. It's always been just kind of finding ways to just force things through without many resources. Now with like that drive for $5 grand, it allows us to make a lot more investment in all that we're doing and the people and the systems and all that. So as silly as a new phone system is, it's one of those things where, okay, well, instead of pinching pennies, now we can actually invest in things that are going to make us stronger. That portal and having a stronger staff and more deeper staff. So just a lot of things that we've been able to invest in now as MPMA to make us stronger, more sustainable, so that as we roll out these workforce initiatives, we can do it a lot more effectively and get the word out better and do it a lot better for you and have a lot better user experience for all of our members too. So that's really important that as we move forward, our members start to see that benefit and experience it and feel it and know that, hey, MPMA is here for you. MPMA is doing things that are going to make your company stronger, develop your people, and help you move to the next level. So you'll hopefully see some of those things coming out continued and see improvements coming from MPMA. But we're here to support the industry. We're here to support the companies. So all of you. So I hope you do please reach out. Do please read our emails and our social media posts. And I know that everybody's bombarded with so much information these days, but we're here to represent the industry. And so I hope that if you're going to listen to anyone, hopefully you listen to MPMA, because there are things that we can truly benefit you, save you money, and actually help you move the needle forward. So I encourage you to just pay attention and watch for that information, which I had in this reminders here. But a reminder, because Brenda will probably be upset with me if I don't mention this, but our job posting. So a lot of our members forget that we have that. And again, I mentioned earlier, we used to have 1,000 website hits a month, and now we're at 4,000. Our website traffic has quadrupled. I mentioned our portal that we're doing with job seekers, hundreds of people that when they sign on to our portal and Marika starts engaging with them, they also have immediate access to our job postings, and Marika and her team will connect with those individuals and say, hey, we've got this job posting that might be a good fit for you. So when an MPMA member posts on our website for free, it's not just sitting there idle. We are actively trying to promote that and get that in front of job seekers so you have better opportunities to connect with people that we've vetted and you maybe have a better chance of success with as well. So please don't hesitate to post your jobs with us. Again, it's free. It takes 30 seconds. You can do it online and get it on our website, and we'll start sharing it. And I mentioned too, when we have those programs, when we have grants coming out, encourage you to watch for that information and then reach out to us. Again, I mentioned we have a number of companies that come to us throughout the year and say, well, can I get in on that? Say, nope, sorry. So please, even like specifically the dual training grant, which you'll probably hear from Marika soon, you don't have to sign up and commit. You sign up to say, I'm interested and I want to be a part of it if the timing is right. And then when the time comes to actually sign on, if you say, I don't have an apprentice right now, I can't be a part of it yet, that's totally fine. But if you think there's any chance you want to be a part of that, any chance you have employees that might want to go to schooling and be a part of this grant, you can sign on, and then again, just we have you on our list just in case you have trainees that are interested. So I would just encourage you to watch for that information and sign on. And again, I mentioned just a minute ago, just watch the magazine cycle times, our emails, our social media. Again, we're trying to limit the amount of stuff that's just stuff and just fluff information, all that. We really want to try and make sure our information we're giving you is valuable, it's helpful, it's connecting to the right resources and getting the right solutions. So please make sure you're watching for that and letting us know when you have questions or are interested in learning more. All right, so